And it says that every citizen has a right to access A, information held by the state, and B, information held by another person and required for the exercise or protection of their rights. So, but as we know, the Constitution is still, its implementation is still ongoing. So, apart from that access to information, there are other aspects of the Constitution that capture public participation.
No, he's just outside.
That is Article 118, it says that Parliament shall conduct its business in an open manner, and its sittings and those of committees shall be open to the public. So that is about citizen participation. And also under Article 174, which is the objects of devolution, it says that devolution, the main reason, one of the reasons that devolution exists is that citizens should be able to participate in their government, in the decision-making processes of government, so that citizens can manage their own affairs and also can further their own development. So apart from the Kenyan Constitution, we have the County Governments Act, number 17 of 2012. It says that every Kenyan citizen shall on request, have access to information held by any county government or unit. And two, that every county government and its agencies shall designate an office for purposes of ensuring access to information as required by the first part. So the county government is very express in that it requires the county to share information with its citizens. So that's a good start in terms of access to information. Then also the Part 8 says that citizens have the right to petition and challenge what the county governments are doing. So that is the subsidiary legislation or legislation that is a bit, that is not within the Constitution, that is a bit lower than the Constitution. So apart from that, there are so many things. The Constitution, first of all, says that there are so many provisions the Constitution has, but it's up to the Parliament, to come up with specific legislation that will ensure that the rights that are in the Constitution are further captured, and detailed framework is given as to how such a right will be realized. For instance, on that Article 35 and the right of access to information, what Parliament should do is come up with an access to information law so that it can capture the right in the Constitution and give a lot of flesh and meat and details as to how access to information will be given. As Honorable Engineer Rege has said that as ICJ, in that process, we've been in that process for over 20 years of trying to realize an access to information law, and we are still endeavoring to do that, because without that framework, then it becomes a bit difficult to access these. And apart from that, as Honorable Rege said, is the data protection. We have those two go hand in hand. Then apart from that, we have TISA's Public Participation Bill 2014. TISA is an NGO that deals with social accountability, and currently they are spearheading a public participation bill that will also give flesh as to how the public can participate in government decision-making processes. Then apart from the national, we have the regional instruments. I've tried to highlight some of them. The first one is the resolution on the adoption of the Declaration of Principles of Freedom of Expression in Africa. So I think I don't want to be so legal and maybe I'll do some of you. So what the regional instruments, like this one is an AU instrument, where the AU is recognizing that access to information is important and that all its member states should come up with a legislation that provides for access to information. We also have another one, the African Commission on Human and People's Rights. The opening of these conventions highlights something very interesting, that deeply concerned that of all 53 EU member states in the continent, only a few have adopted access to information laws. South Africa, Uganda, Kenya, we are still in the process. So it's a concern not just for these nations, but also for the African Union. And then down there we have the African Youth Charter, and Article 10 and 11 provides that the youth shall participate in all spheres of life, and also that government shall facilitate information for the development of the youth. Apart from that, we have other instruments. I've just listed them down, just to give effect to the fact that access to information is very important. Apart from that, we have international instruments, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and Article 19, and the ICCP, and the same Article 19 that gives that provides that everyone has the right to freedom of opinion and expression and all that. So apart from the legislative framework, maybe I'd just like to talk about the benefits of access to information. Now that ICT is one of the platforms that the citizens of this country can access information that is held by the state, is the first point is that information is power.
The slide. That should be there.
So, for instance, basic information such as bursaries. If you have two citizens or two Kenyans, A and B, whose children cannot go to school because they don't have school fees. If A knows about the bursary that are given by the government, then they are able to benefit. But if B does not know, then they cannot benefit. So first, information is power. I'll try to be very brief. Apart from that, also, without information, the citizens of our country and the government in question are not able to have a cordial relationship because of suspicion. I remember we are having interactions with the county government, and they were telling us that they fear for the 2017 elections because there is information gap. When the MCS came into power, they were normal Kenyans, normal citizens, but after a few months, then they acquired big cars and a new lifestyle. And so when their members see or they elect the ordinary managed sees this guy who was just a normal Kenyan and now he has a big car and all that, what the first thing that they say is that they have eaten our money. But now the speaker was telling us the issue is that we've not taken their money, but we've given them loans. So without such information, you're very suspicious of your government. So the need for trust and also accountability. The only way you can hold the government accountable is if you have the information. For instance, of government expenditures and all that. So with such information, then you're able to hold your government accountable. So that comes oversight and monitoring role, and it reduces corruption. Corruption thrives in secrecy, in darkness, because no one will know what happened. But if there is this transparency brought about by ICT and all this, then corruption becomes less in our country. So apart from the next part is how information can be provided by the state. There's the government websites and also within departments. This is what is called the information officer, but so far it's yet to take root completely. There's also newspapers and county dailies. Now the TISA bill is proposing that there should be county gazettes and that every county assembly should have a website. Apart from that, there are public barazas and county notice boards. With all that access to information, maybe there are very few pieces of information that can be exempt, that the government may not give, and that is information that encompasses on national security, or information that will negatively affect the peace of the nation, or information that, I don't know, we need to emergency, a state of emergency or something like that. Then apart from that, we have the opportunities for ICT and the past government. The government, or the Jubilee government, said that it wants to be accountable. It had some news. One of them was Uchumi, the other one was Wazi. Now, Wazi is transparency. So one of the things that the president has done is going e-government, e-commerce, e-learning and all that, so that the government should be able to have a website where they give as much information as possible about what is happening. For instance, there's this website, the parliament one. It has a lot of information about committees, the bills that are, that are there, about all the members of the house and stuff like that. So that's a good platform, the e-government. Then apart from that, we have the blog sites, or the digital platforms where government websites have blog sites, and members of the public are able to ask questions and all that. And sometime, this year or last year, when the government, when the president launched a website where the country is able to, members of the public are able to give anti-corruption information. So that's one way that the government is trying to engage, where cabinet secretaries are able to post things. I don't know whether it is true, but I hear that nowadays every secretary has a new person just to keep him on tabs, to give the public the relevant information as to what is happening. Then also we have mobile phones. Nowadays the government releases information related to results of national exams on mobile phones, and a lot of stuff that has gone on mobile phones. So maybe a small section would be the ESC and the ESC, the African Union, and basically what Kenya has, the treaties that Kenya has signed. So such treaties such as the ESC, I know ESC has an ICT platform and an ICT department that is able to cater for everything that the 5 governments are doing within on that website and department. Then apart from that, the APRMs and the ESC, we have devolution of the county systems. Now, devolution is a very important aspect because now the government is now going to the grassroots. Devolution is a very important aspect, as Honorable said, that counties should be able to embrace ICT and such opportunities for them to share information with their citizens. We are engaging with a few countries, and though the process is slow, they are endeavoring to also come up with bills, legislation on access to information and things like this. So whereas they have, they have the idea of doing it, it's taking time because the county system is still new, they're still trying, it's still having teething problems. But we have several counties that we are working with to try and come up with legislation like that. So I think I'm through with the presentation.
Thank you, Julie. Really appreciate the time.